Alright, so welcome back. After talking about Know Your Enemy, which was the follow-up to No Stranger to Danger, in 1989, they would come back with would be their most aggressive album to date, titled Annihilation Principle. Now, by the time of 1989, the band was also recording another track. Yes, it's time to kind of talk about that before I talk about Annihilation Principle, which was, of course, the track Leatherface, which was mostly meant to be for the third Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie titled Leatherface. And that track would be featured in not just the trailer for that movie, but even on the soundtrack, which Medusa Records, which Medusa and Enigma will also work together, besides Enigma working with Metal Blade, or, that. So, they released the Leatherface track, which was actually the song that introduced me to Lääz Rockit. No Stranger to Danger was the album that I first heard by Lääz Rockit, but it was Leatherface that was the track that pretty much introduced me to this band. And this was back in 2009. If I am definitely correct, or 2008. Damn, been so fucking long. But Leatherface, of course, is very much a thrashing sort of track. It's kind of more, it's kind of mosh-worthy almost. Very much kind of similar to the likes of Exodus in a way, but just a little classier in some ways. It still is a very kick-ass song. It was actually, I believe, recorded around the same time as Annihilation Principle because it was released on the same year as Annihilation Principle. So, and of course, listening to it, it very much sounds like an outtake from the album. But, of course, with Annihilation Principle, they had much more to prove than just a mosh-worthy thrash track. So, album still being produced by Roy Rollin, who I forgot to mention, who also produced Know Your Enemy, and who has even produced Creator's Terrible Certainty and Blind Fury's Out of Reach, which, of course, Blind Fury was one of the other names that Satan went under. So, with that, he produces this and gives the album very much a heavy sort of... he's kind of like almost... his production style can be also very similar to like Randy Burns in a way. But even more thicker in some ways. At times maybe even thin, who knows. This guy definitely gives Annihilation Principle a heavy track. And of course starting off with Fire in the Hole, which was actually a music video for... very cool, very cheesy music video that definitely kind of... it's very much the equivalent to their sound anyway. It's very action-packed. Of course, we got Mob Justice, which is very kind of similar to Start the Fire off of Metal Church is the Dark, which, of course, Lääz Rockit on this album, they do take a lot of cues from both Metal Church, Overkill, and Liege Lord, or any other U.S. power metal band, but mixed with the likes of, Megadeth, or Overkill, or Metal Church. So, you kind of get a little bit of those into here. We got Chain of Fools. So, with that, which is kind of starts off soft a bit, but it does turn into a really good track. A Shadow Company is also good. Again, definitely good track. But even Chain of Fools, like I said, is very much got a little punkish to it as well. Kind of indicated with like Self-Destruct off of, Know Your Enemy. And speaking of Self-Destruct, it does make a little bit of appearance in the intro to this next track. Because you just hear the sounds of a helicopter with, of course, somebody blasting its stereo, which, of course, Self-Destruct is playing. But even my camera's going out. So let me kind of move on a little forward. So, of course, with the helicopter and everything, it moves in to their cover of Dead Kennedy's Holiday in Cambodia, which is very much a well-done cover. Definitely good. Of course, we got Bad Blood, a really good thrasher. Chasing Charlie, another really good track on here. Mirror to Madness, again, another really emotional kind of track, but still very good. Another good track. Melodic, but just again, good. Then we got the Omen, which is actually, like I said, and you know what I said, that the band definitely really never attempted all that much at making ballads. At times they did, with tracks such as Spread the Fire, Most Dangerous Game, Means to an End. Here, they really do end up making a ballad as track, and it's the Omen, and it ends the album, but it's still done in very good fashion. Just another really good track that ends it, and it's to a, almost at times, a very explosive, very just well put together album. Overall, Annihilation Principle is some of the band's best albums, next to like Know Your Enemy, City's Gonna Burn, No Stranger to Danger. Their first 4 albums are all killer. After this, they still would kind of continue in 1991 or 92. They would release Nothing Sacred, and which would definitely was a full-fledged thrash metal album. But then they would change their name to GAC, and would play more like a groovy sort of thrash sound. And then they would then just split up. Then they would come back in 2008 to release their follow-up album to Nothing Sacred, or even the GAC album titled Left for Dead, which was an album that I did not care for, but that's an album I may revisit. And then in 2014 we would lose Victor Agnello, who was the drummer for the band, so definitely sad there. Overall, a good album nonetheless, and definitely one of the band's best. So with that, it's time to move on to the next band. This is Heavy Thrasher saying I am out, and I'll see you on the other side later.